go. She loves me. Please, Bob, please, she loves me. Morning. There you are. That's what I wanted. That's the lights on it. You don't care for me. You don't ask for money. You take care of me. 'Cause you love me, babe. Morning, folks. Right. Boom. Okie dokie. Let's get this road on the show. Let's give it another couple of minutes. 'Cause she loves me. Piece by piece. The most difficult part of the morning is trying to get the ice and sugar out the container. But hey, right, let's leave that at the back. This is an epic one, folks. Good morning. This one's going to be a behemoth. I'm going to leave it a couple more minutes. I've got 2 people watching so far, which is me. Alrighty. Cause she loves me. She takes care of me. Cause she loves me. How are we all doing? Hello, Andy. Right, I'm going to get started. Right, so we are going to make tiramisu pancake cake, or a crepe cake. A lot of recipes online have. So I've combined 2 recipes here. Some of the techniques to make it in a basically we're making a pancake cake. So there's layers of pancake, and we're going to serve it in one of these kind of like 8-inch round loose bottom cake tins, right? pretty straightforward. That's going to make our cake, alright? We don't have to bake anything in the oven. We don't have to do any of that. It's just really straightforward, really easy. But it's just a lot of preparation. Preparation, okay? So we're going to use a couple of techniques. Hi Andy. A couple of techniques. We're going to make a sampignon, which is like you're going to cook egg yolks with ice and sugar over heat, which is going to be really cool. Yeah, it's going to have it's going to be quite a mix of classical and modern, because this cake's been around for a few years. There's loads of videos online for it, but I'm just going to change it up a little bit because some of the things I didn't like. When I was an apprentice, I used to make this quite a lot. I'm just going to adjust the camera slightly. That'll be a bit better. That's better. Yeah, so this is just a little bit of a play on it, really. I used to make this quite a lot. So my first job I made tiramisu, and every job after that, because I liked the recipe so much, I made it everywhere I went. A lot of recipes use the sponge fingers. I used to make it with fresh sponge, used to get a better result. I know the classic way is to have those little biscuits, but I didn't like the fact that the cream went in and out of them. If you do layers of it with your own sponge, make a really thin Genoese sponge, which is eggs, sugar and flour, that's it. And you used to whisk up the eggs until they're nice and fluffy with the sugar, then just add flour. Makes a really light sponge. I used to make that every day. 30 eggs worth of Genoese sponge I used to make. And then layers of the sponge with the mix in between. Lovely. Much better finish. Not to criticise the recipe, because you know everybody makes it their way. I just think making it with the sponge fingers, you just don't get the same kind of finish. Anyway, this is a kind of slant on there's a German dish. I should have done my research, but a German dish where the cake is layers and layers of thin sponge. Well, we're going to make pancakes, all right? And we're going to do about 16 layers, I hope, of 16 layers of pancake, and like 32 layers in total. So 16 layers of pancake and 16 layers of the tiramisu cream, and then we're going to create a cake out of it. Right. First things first. I have made, based on the amount of people watching me, not many people are going to be making this along with me, which is fine. But I've made my pancake mix early. Needs a little bit of time to rest. So when you make it, put it in the fridge for half an hour. Some people say overnight, but that's a bit over the top. It's a pancake mix. It's not going to do anything, do any harm to have it ready. I'm going to leave that in the fridge until we need it. I've got large eggs. What you've got to do with these large eggs, let's get a little container. That'll do. Okay, we've got to separate them. And they're going to go into this mix here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ice and sugar in here first. Let's go for the ingredients. I'm going all over the shop. Okay, so for the tiramisu pancake cake, you know why? I'm quite nervous this morning because I've never made this before. And I don't do a rehearsal. So anybody think I rehearse this? Well, if you've watched any of my previous Bonkers cookery schools, you know I don't rehearse it. So, I just go with the flow. And this is what you would do if you were making it. So I want you to see that it, just get on with it. And there we go. Right, here we go. So tiramisu pancake cake. For the pancakes, 300 grams of plain flour, vegetable oil, 6 eggs, and 900 ml of semi-skim milk. So that's gone in the fridge. I made that this morning about 8 o'clock, ready for today. So it's ready to rock and roll, about an hour. Just leave it in there. But you can do it straight away. I'm not going to have a go at you for that. Just go for it. If you're making it, make it now. Whisk it all up, done. Easy peasy. Okay, for the filling, mascarpone, room temperature. So I brought a mascarpone. You need 500 grams. Now these are 250 gram pots. So just get 2 of these. Easy peasy. Oh. I thought I tied it up this morning. A cup of juice has gone everywhere. Hold on a second. Let's put that there for a second, that'll do it. Okay, so back on paste. Right, here we go. So for the filling, mascarpone, 3 egg yolks, icing sugar, 140 grams of icing sugar, 300 ml of double cream, and some strong coffee. So I made my cafetiere of strong coffee this morning, and I basically reduced it in a pan by about half. Right? Doesn't have to be that strong, just has to be coffee flavoured, it's fine. And then some biscuits at the top. Now what I did was, Cheryl doesn't like amaretti biscuits because they've got an almond flavour in it, she don't like that. I couldn't find them anyway in the supermarket last night, but I found Biscoff, so I'm going to use that instead. Just got to kind of have that kind of like salty caramel-y type of taste. Beautiful. So we're going to use those instead, alright? Or any kind of biscuit. And Oreos are pretty cool. And that is it really. So let's go through it. So let's stop talking and get cooking. So let's get these egg yolks out of the way first. I'm going to put, what you want to put on is a pan of water, big enough for your bowl to sit in. The water, there must be a gap. Morning, Herbie. There must be a gap between the bowl and the water. When we're cooking these eggs, it's a very gentle process. We've got to whisk it, and we don't want scrambled eggs. So with a Sauvignon, the trick is do it from, I would do it from cold, only because when you're whisking, you're breaking up those egg yolks with this sugar, and you're creating this kind of lovely sauce to go with your tiramisu mix. So we've got to whisk the eggs with the sugar, keep on whisking. The finer the sugar, the better. If you use granulated sugar, it ends up very grainy. You don't want that. Icing sugar or caster sugar is fine. Alright? So first of all, cold saucepan, about 1 inch of water. Now this is quite a deep bowl, alright? So there's not much water in here, but once the bowl goes on there won't be any evaporation once it starts heating up. And you don't want it boiling, you just want it hot, simmer. Morning, Mum. So here we go. So let's get the icing sugar in here first. Let's stop talking and get cooking. And yes, I am wearing a Star Trek t-shirt. As we like to call it in this day and age, it was a lockdown purchase. So here we go. So this is 140 grams of icing sugar. Okay? So 140 grams of icing sugar. That's that. Now I've got to take large eggs and separate them. Really easy to do. Open it up. Get rid of that white. Get rid of that rubbish. Put it in. Done. And what I'm going to do is when I start layering up this thing, I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see what I'm doing, because here's okay for just mixing stuff and just general chit chat. When it comes to technical stuff, I'm going to bring the camera over to this corner and do like a close up so you can see exactly what I'm doing, like the old days, alright? Because it's only taken me a whole year to get to this point where I think this angle's good enough. It's the only time you'll ever see me be a prima donna, really. Okay, I've got 3 egg yolks. That should be enough. I'm going to give it a mix up. So it's 3 large egg yolks to the icing sugar. Let's mix it up. Might need another egg yolk. It doesn't matter. We'll work it out. Because the icing sugar being this fine is a bit of a funny one, really. It takes a while to get mixed up. then you want to get that nice little mix like that. Okay. Now, at this point, I didn't put it in the recipe, but I'm gonna see. The problem with me is that I kind of tinker all the time with recipes. So even now I'm thinking, can I change it up a little bit? As long as you've got the ingredients, obviously. So stick it on a gentle heat and keep on whisking like that. It will start loosening up the more you mix it, because the icing sugar will dissolve and it will just kind of loosen up. All right. So you've got this kind of. This is the start of your Sauvignon. All right. Getting very technical now. So just keep on mixing it. What you don't want is scrambled egg. All right. Just be very careful. Keep that coffee over there. We're going to put that on a plate, and I'll tell you why we're going to do it in a minute. This is going to be used for later. Oh, I think when I did the recipe as well, early on in the week, I said you could use a liqueur. Now that liqueur, I haven't decided yet. I've got salted caramel, Baileys, which I know this is Bonkers. It's a family thing, but once you put it through, it'll just add another element. It's not that alcoholic, and the kids will eat Christmas pudding, so we won't lose any sleep over that. So it's optional. So you've got strong coffee there. You don't want to add any more sugar to that, because you've got a hell of a lot of sugar here. You don't want it to be too sweet, alright? So you've got your icing sugar and your eggs making your Sauvignon. Give it a whisk up, keep on turning it. See, I'm not going mad, just keep on turning it like that. Alright? It starts to loosen up and dissolve because of the heat. It's early days yet. About 10 minutes this will take. You want it to kind of like pillow. The volume will come up because of the air and the cooking process. Okay, so keep on whisking. The funny thing is, once you've got all the components made, it's quite straightforward, just layer it up. But it's the workload to get it ready. It's what it's all about. People don't realise how long it takes. So, you've got your pancake mix. It takes about an hour to half an hour to settle, ready to go. Give it a whisk before you use it. Make your Sauvignon. So you've got your pancake mix in here, your coffee all reduced down. Or if you've got an espresso machine, like one of those pod things, just do a couple of espressos from one of those. Perfect. Now there's variations of the tiramisu where you don't even cook the eggs. I always thought it was kind of weird that you just put eggs and sugar in, whisked it up until it came into a nice floaty, kind of aerated pal cream, and then added the cream with it. So I've done it both ways. It's kind of like depends. When you're an apprentice or you're not a head chef, you do what the head chef tells you, and he turns around and says, "You do it this way. You do it." And then what you can see there, I don't know if you can see it. Let me push this forward. It starts to go a lot lighter. It changes the colour. The more air you put into it, and this takes about 10 minutes. You don't want to go. You go from very dark yellow to kind of a pale white colour, and that's what you're looking for. Alright? The heat's on now. Very delicate. Just bring it down a bit. Just a light simmer so you get the heat in. And you'll feel the heat in the bowl. That's what you want to feel, the heat in the bowl. Once that starts to heat up a little bit, this is where, if I scramble it, I'm going to look like a putz. Hey, we'll get there. So keep on whisking. Make sure you bring the egg away from the sides. What you don't want to do is when you whisk it, all the mix goes up the side because it will cook. You want the mix to be dense in the centre so it keeps on turning round. And notice I'm not getting it all up the sides. Just keep it central. Keep it turned, and then every now and then get the large part of your whisk, take it away from the sides so it doesn't cook. Then what the trick is then is that when the mix starts to become a little bit more, you don't want to start scraping cooked egg into the mix. Give it a good mix up again. Keep on doing this until it comes to a nice fluffy mess. Mess? Did I just say mess? Right, keep it going. This is critical stage now. So this is where we've got to be careful. What we don't want is it to start cooking. What we want to do is we don't want to overcook. We just want to do enough to get those egg yolks nice and happy. A bit like this is what you would do if you make a hollandaise. Similar. But with hollandaise you would have white wine vinegar reduced with a little bit of shallot vinegar, a bit of tarragon. That would make like a béarnaise. Nice. Okay. Oh, we've got loads of people on now. Cool. How are we all doing? We all happy? And look how pale that's getting. That's perfect. Nearly there. 10 minutes. Still, it's getting warm now. Ice and sugar still quite grainy. And keep it going. Notice I keep on taking it away from the sides. The pressure's on to kind of keep it in that middle section of the bowl. If you've got a wider bowl, make your life a lot easier, but hey, that's just me. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some of that in there. I'll get to like a double in there. A double of that. So this is salted caramel. That goes in our coffee mix like that. Perfect. So what we're going to use that for is that's going to go in with our Alright, it's starting to cook now, so I'm going to turn it down again. Right. What you want is when you do this is for, you know, like a ribbon stage when if anybody's done that, what you get to a point where the egg yolks, when you drizzle it over the top, it starts to sit on top of the cream and creates and holds. That's what you're looking for. Okay, nearly there. Look how power it looks now, look. Lovely. Oh. There you go. A little bit longer. A couple more minutes and then we'll stop. Give it a little bit longer. Morning Gal, morning Sarah, morning Jennifer, morning Mum, morning Herbie, morning Andy, morning Nick, morning Cheryl, morning me. That's everybody. Don't mind. When this all finishes, I can normally get about 200 to 300 people watch. All good, isn't it? Not my greatest, I've had about 3,000 I think. But hey. Someone online the other day told me, how do you afford all of this by doing this every week? Well, I can reassure you, again, that we eat all this. I don't rehearse it, so that we don't waste any food. Food waste is quite emotive, isn't it? Right, that's enough. So you've got this kind of like nice, about 10 minutes, pale mixture, where the eggs have cooked. We get rid of this water, don't need that anymore. And what we want to do with this You just keep on stirring it, and that's your Sauvignon, right? Normally, if you was to use caster sugar, a lot more egg yolks, you would get, it would balloon a little bit higher, okay? But this is just for the purposes of the tiramisu. You want to create a nice kind of cream that will mix in with the mascarpone and the double cream, right? Alright, next stage, let's get our double cream working. So you've got 3 different components, alright? Double cream, mascarpone and the egg mix. So this is what you've got to get pulled together. So in here I've got my salted caramel Baileys and my coffee. Morning Becca. Morning Victoria. Hello. Good to see you all. It's been beautiful. Right. So now 300 mils of cream. Now what I did here as well is I upped the amount of cream to the amount of mascarpone, and the reason for that is mascarpone is expensive, cream's a lot cheaper, and I thought to myself, well, as long as the cream mix is incorporated, it's all good. Mascarpone can be a little bit kind of, oh that's good. Mascarpone needs a bit of time to calm down, because you know, like how you break into cream cheese, and once you start moving it around, it starts to loosen up. Well, that's what happens to mascarpone. Oh, by the way, I made what you want to do with this as well. Everything's got to be a similar temperature. If you literally, look, that didn't take long at all. Look, it's nearly done already, because it's come straight out of the fridge. Right, so literally whisk that up to a kind of like firm ribbon stage like that. Well, that didn't take long. So look, there you go, like that. Don't want to whisk it too much. So literally whisk it until it's kind of like firm but not over whipped, okay? Because we're going to mix it again and again and again. You don't want to over whip it. Where's my trusty blue spoon? Okay, here we go. So that's cooled down. Need to make sure that cools down. So we've got this cream. That's that. So we've got the cream like that. Right. You've got the Sauvignon, which is here. Happy. Right. And we've got the mascarpone. So we're going to open up the mascarpone. Mascarpone is lovely. It's quite, I think I said it last week, it's quite a benign cream cheese. It's got no salt. It's not too salty. It's not in your face. It's just a really good, good vehicle to put different flavours in. All right. So let's get rid of that. So at this point we've got cream, we've got mascarpone, and we've got our Sauvignon. Let that cool down for a little bit longer. It's alright, it's fine, happy. Right, so cream stays there, happy as Larry. You get your cream cheese and put that in with your Sauvignon. Alright? Do it this way round. Okay? Both mascarpones in the go. Alright, this is going to make it so nice and firm, alright? That's the secret to this, is making sure those eggs and the sugar is combined and ready to rock. Grab your whisk. You don't have to turn this in, you just need to mix it up. Mix up the eggs and the mascarpone. And mix that up. And what you'll find is it'll be quite loose, but that's what the cream does, and we're going to put it in the fridge while we're making our pancakes. Let's try that now. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Oh wow. Right. Hello. That's good as gold. So we've mixed that together. Alright. Alright, that's our mix there. So the process is quite regimented. Now what we do, now we've got to this stage, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Don't need any of that anymore. Lovely. Is get your cream, a little bit at a time, fold it in. This calms it all down because it can be really rich. And this is going to set it all together. Right? Then you're going to put it in the fridge while you make your pancakes. Notice it's not too there's not much going on here other than getting that cream on and mixing it together. Alright? Look at that. Easy. Okay. Now if you want to make a regular tiramisu, at this point, get your sponge fingers out and then away you go. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do something that's bonkers, aren't we? So that's that. So now you've got this mix that seems quite loose, but just refrigerate it, just so it firms up a little bit. Alright? And that's it. Give it a little mix up. Get those lumps out. Right, that's that. Remember, when you do make it, it will set in the fridge, so you can't eat it straight away. Got to let it settle. What happens is that good tiramisu is eaten the next day really. Gives it time to just chill and get itself together, ready for you to eat it. Put it in the fridge. Now we're going to get the pancake mix out. So here we go, this is where the fun stops folks. This is where you make as many pancakes as you can possibly make. Okay, now what I've done is that's not going to be used for a while. That's the butter, that's the coffee. Let's give these a wipe out. So what I've done is, the pan I've put some oil in. It's got some marks on this pan, but once it gets going it'll be fine. Alright, so I'm going to heat that up to a moderate heat. What time is it in Oz, Andy? So my brother lives in Sydney. Yeah, I think he's still watching. If he's not, if he doesn't reply, I know he's not. He literally went on there just so loud. Okay, so this is, like I said before, give it a good mix up. Now this is 6 eggs, 900 mils of milk and 300 grams of flour. And it needs to be nice and pouring, like that. Okay, so here we go. So I've melted some oil in one of my little jars, butter even. And we're gonna, every time, we're gonna prove the pan, we're gonna heat it up. It's going to take about a minute to do each pancake. We're going to stack them on this cooling rack, alright? We're on the home stretch now. This is where we put it all together. Right, so that's good. Now the secret to this, bit of oil. Now I know that's a lot, I'm going to pour it out, don't panic. Right, so the oil goes in there. Notice that the circumference of the pan is the same width as my cake pan, which is really important, so a little bit more there. Right, so that's that. So we've got the oil going. Going to warm it up and we're going to crack on. The first one is going to be a car crash. I can guarantee that. And I'll tell you why. Because every single pancake, your first pancake is always a car crash. Alright? Isn't it funny? The thing that I'm more worried about is the pancakes coming out than I am anything else in this. Alright, let's crank it up. Right, here we go. So I'm not going to put a whole ladle in, I'm going to see, so don't panic so much, but I'm going to see how much pancake mix is going to fill the bottom of that without it being too thick. Biggest problem with these pancakes is you don't want them too thick, you want them nice and thin. So let's crank it up even more. Let's go. I've got to make 16 of these while you watch. Now this is going to be exciting, folks. Because you make them so thin, the mix a lot more. Look, I'm going to tell you, right? 9 times out of 10, I don't think I ever measure my pancakes. The ingredients, I just make up a mix and hope for the best. But all you want to do here, when it comes to pancakes, is make sure the top dries. The top dries and it bubbles up a little bit. You want a bit of colour. And then what you want to do is, impatience is a virtue. Whatever you do, don't get stuck in and think, oh, I've got to get it sorted. Get in there and you just wreck it. I want to wreck it. And I know part of this pan, oh, that's alright, this is good as gold, because I've proved it a little bit, this is good. So, do you want me to flip it? Anybody want me to flip it? To see if we can flip it, yeah? Should we flip this bad boy? Whoop. About a minute either side, really. That's what you want. Let's flip it, you ready? Could even go thinner than that, to be honest. That's what we're talking about, boom. Pancake me up. Lovely, happy with that. About a minute either side. I'm going to go thinner than that, not happy with that one. It's too thick. Might use that as the base. Hello, can you go base? Sorry. But that'll work. Flip it. Flip it. Let's see how many complete flips I get by the end of this. Right, a little bit longer, don't want too much. Let's open some windows, it's getting smoky Joe in here. So here we go. Right, that's one. Okay, let's do it. Let's keep it going. I've got to do 16 of these. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. So every time you do a pancake, take a little bit of the excess oil out, a little bit of the butter, because butter's nice in pancakes. Oil's okay, but they get a bit greasy. You want plenty of flavour in there. I'm going to go a bit less on this one. Keep it hot. Let it settle a little bit, then move that batter around like that. That's it. Move it round and try and go right round the edges like that, and away you go. I used to have a chef who used to say, if you can't see through a crepe, you might as well not bother. But he was French, and the French like it like that. We like a bit of body in our pancakes, don't we? So there you go. There's our first crepe. That's beautiful. I might even take some of the excess. Take the excess grease off, because we've got to make it beautiful. It needs to be nice and dry. Notice I'm putting it on a cooling rack as well to aid it to get cooler quicker. Alright, that's it. Dry the batter. It's going to be great. Right, once that's done, move it to one side. And notice, I'm being economical. Multitasking a little bit. So what we're doing here is, while that's cooking, we're preparing that one. Alright? What we're not going to do is go boom, 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 boom into the cakes in. They're going to be too hot. Basically what we want to do is have them all stacked up, ready to go, and then we're going to build, alright? So each one, loosen up. See, I'm getting impatient already. This is bad. So, let me talk, while I'm doing this, I'm going to do another couple more and then we're going to talk about what's going to happen next week. So, I had, here we go. Boom! Oh, travesty grand. There you go. Oh no, we'll make that work. Boom, that'll be alright. That was set. Not worried about that so much. Once it goes in the mix, we'll be fine. In the remix. Bounce, 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 bounce. Do, do, do. They're very light, these pancakes, which is good. That's what you want. You don't want them too heavy. If you get them too floury, they'll be too dense and they won't eat at all well. The whole purpose of this is the layers create a filled sponge. And what you don't want to do is then end up with, if you don't have delicate pancakes, it's going to be a real hard eat. It's going to be a slog. I assume, because I've never had this before. That's perfect. Let's do that. Done. Another pancake. So that's 2. We need only need number 14 more. As I say every week, don't see this on cooking shows, probably for good reason. Right, here we go. Next one up. This pan's a beaut. I like this little pan. Does everything I want it to do. Right, let's go. Next one. Keep on mixing the pancake mix as well. Alright? And then move it around, get it round. There is a reason why I let it settle a little bit first before I start moving it around. Now, another chef used to do that. And then when you bring it out, so it's really wafer thin, then this bit gets cut off. And then that ensures that you always get a nice wafer thin pancake. Let's have a look at it. That's it. It's only 9:45. Nearly there. So there you go. We're still doing the business here. That's it. That's the thinnest one so far. So while that's working, we pat it, take that excess off, and then turn it over. Put it on that pile. That's our pancake right there. This one. Oh, bit sticky. Let's have a look. Once it goes from the sides, we're good as gold. It's because I've got it on pause. So, next week. Just so you know, I'm working on Thursday. So I can't do Bonkers live on Thursday. So, I want to ask people who are watching now, do I do it on Wednesday when I'm free? Or do I do a recording? That's what we want to hear. What shall I do? Come on, give us some feedback, folks. What do you reckon? Yeah. Flipping pancakes is quite boring. Oh, Wednesday. Okay. Well, keep it live. Keep it live. Okay. As opposed to recording. Okay. I'll go with that. If that's what we want to see. I'll go with the public, man. People power and all that. Live action. Now this is, I don't know about action. Another pancake done. So that's 3. Boom. My mum's probably going, oh, I can't believe he's taking so long over pancakes. Do you know what? What's everybody's record on pancakes? Pancake record. What's the... Right, ow. Be careful of doing that. I've just poured hot oil on my finger. Always classic. Right, next one. Oh, that's a bit of a rubbish one. Might ditch that one. Not happy about that. What happened was it set too quick. I've got a bit of a mound here. Not happy with that. Never mind. See what happens. I don't know about that. It's a gig. It's a cooking gig. Now that's what they should have, gigs. What they do is they have a band playing while I cook. That's gonna be beautiful. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? How about that? Now that's never been done before. Cooking demos and then like a band come on and play like cover versions while you cook. Wow! Now that's how good was that? How good would that be? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Like who would be the best band to play with? You know, like while I'm cooking. That would be genius. That'd be amazing. Cooking to lift music. That's Hawaiian. But you say that. I know. Tell me about it. Wouldn't it be great? I have a really good covers band, and do you know what? I might get it to work. Hold on. When it gets a little bit looser on that, we'll get it to work. I reckon so. I reckon. And what happens is we get a license, and we have someone playing like even original music just for a bit of a laugh, like folk songs or something. So if you're doing Irish music, what you do? Yeah, food, glorious food. Please, sir, can I have some more? See, we're making our own entertainment while I burn pancakes. How about like if I'm doing Italian, like a Dean Martin impersonator singing all the classic kind of Italian love songs. That'd be quite funny. Oh, that'd be so good. I just wonder how Facebook would take it, because they don't like me. Last time I had music on when I did Bonkers, I got taken off. They didn't like. They gave me a warning. I wonder how it works. There's got to be a way of doing it, because the virtual pub does live music. I wonder how long. Well, to be honest with you, that in my kitchen is one thing, but I don't do UB40. I've got a thing about them. I really don't like it. Hate UB40. Not hate. Hate's a strong word, but I'm not a big fan. Can someone tell me how many pancakes I've done? I think I've done 5. Actually, can you tell me? If anybody can tell me, I think I've done 5. Red wine. Who wrote red? Who wrote red wine? Come on. No, I'm not. No, I'm not having it. I'm not a big fan. I'm not sure why I don't like them. I think the issue I have with UB40 is there's about 15 people on stage and they still don't make good music. Oh! I'm into Neil Diamond at the moment. Neil Damon's? Is that like a Matt Damon, Neil Diamond cast-off? Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Food songs. What other food songs are there? Food, glorious food. Or maybe that. Do you remember the cover version of "Beat It" where it says "Eat it, eat it, eat it"? Mad Al Jokovic, or what his name is. Well, the mix I've got here for pancakes, we're going to have pancakes later, I think. Because, well, it might be tomorrow when I get home from work. What am I doing tomorrow? Sunday. Hold on. Oh, it's in the evening. Okay. I might have pancakes tomorrow for tea. Or, with this mix, have you ever made, so, if you've got loads of pancake mix left over, and you want to make a really cool lasagna, make it with pancakes. It's a kind of traditional thing. I work with an Italian lady. She showed me how to make the perfect bolognese. Maybe I should do that one week. What? What? Peaches for me. Yeah, that's it. Brown sugar. Nah, see, Rolling Stones not having that either. I can't take Rolling Stones either. Right, what we need to do is by the end of this cast is have a playlist of food songs that are actually good. Peaches is good. Brown sugar's good. I'll take that. Pour Some Sugar on Me. Def Leppard. That's a good one. Oh honey, oh sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl. That one. Do 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 do. Whoa, sugar. Oh honey, honey. The Banana Split song. Right, we have got. This is laborious stuff, folks. Hold on, any more? Come on. Hot, hot, sweet. From my head to my feet, yeah. Oh, a classic comment about when my brother was young. We used to like a bit of Def Leppard. That's how old we are. And he used to marvel at the fact that Def Leppard had a one-armed drummer. He said it all the time, didn't you, Andy? I can't believe he's a one-armed drummer. And to be fair, not one to have a go at him, but anybody could play the drums when you've got a drum machine around the back there. Harsh, but true. But there is a reason why he did that. He didn't wear a seatbelt, so wear your seatbelt, kids. If it wasn't for him wearing the seatbelt properly, he would have still had it. There you go. Meatloaf. Anything to do with meatloaf. That's beautiful. So our artists that have got names, food names, like Nana Cherry. Something I discussed at work the other day, which is another good one. You can't have sensible names. You can't have some names that your surname can't be. How many surnames do you know that are not funny that are named after fruit? There you go. American Pie. Nice. Here we go. Nick Bannon's on a roll. She's like knocking them out of the park here on the Limp Biscuit. I'll take that. That's a good one. Rolling. Yeah, I'll just make a bread roll. We'll just have rolling going on in the background. I wonder what the rules are. I'll have to look it up. I can get my mate who plays guitar, see if he can do like covers on his acoustic guitar of sings in the background. That'd be so funny. I might even do one out. Actually, if we're allowed in back gardens in a few weeks, I might do a cooking in his back garden. Something by Red Hot Chili Pepper. That's beautiful. I might ask him to join me. That'd be really funny. And he just does some singing. And while I'm cooking, he just talks to the audience. That'd be so funny. I reckon we're gonna right. You heard it here first. We're going to do something that no one else has seen before. I'm going to cook in the garden while my mate plays music, right? And we'll do it in the garden. It'd be so funny if we're allowed to do that in a couple of weeks. That'd be so good. Like the first cooking music festival. That'd be brilliant. The ketchup song. Oh no, yeah, I suppose. I reckon I could wrangle it. There's nothing like that out there. So I've got, this is 7. We're going to go for 8. Right? The thing is that is, you know, Tom Kerridge does his pub in the park, but why isn't there someone cooking while they're playing? Like it would be great for a band that, you know, like the E Street, Bruce Springsteen, the E Street band. They played with, they supported Chuck Berry once, and they were unknown, right? So why don't they have me cooking, a double threat, me cooking and someone playing music, and when we all get back together, I could still do it live, and then invite shout out some numbers in the crowd, and they can come up and eat the food while the band carry on playing. How about that? Raspberry Beret, now that is a tune. That's a tune. Anything by Chuck Berry. Here we go. Chuck Berry. Oh, fruit. I'll go with that as well. Yes. So basically, there's anything by Hot Chocolate. I'm with that. Right. Oh, this is good. Chocolate. Isn't there a song by Snow Patrol called Chocolate? Sugar bar, honey bunch. You know that I love you. I can't help myself. I want you and nobody else. Do. Oh, this is gonna run and run. That. Do you see what I mean? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? See, it's like everybody. It's a winner. Because I remember seeing a concert once, and I think my brother might have been at it. Bananarama. Oh yes, Amanda. Good shout. Here we go. Well done, Amanda. Do you want my chocolate salty balls? No, you can't have that. Whoa! I haven't done a flip for a while. There we go. But we are seriously filling for time. I didn't think this was going to be so. I can't believe it's like 10 o'clock and I'm still cooking pancakes. 10 o'clock in the morning I'm making pancakes. Right, let's have a look at our mix. Let's keep on. That's good. We're all right. We're happy. Okay, that's good. So remember, it's got a set. So don't panic, folks. Salt and pepper. Oh, I reckon there can be an acoustic version of that. I'll have a chat with my mate today and see if we can wrangle it. I don't know if we can do. We could do it, but I reckon we could do it. That'd be so funny. I'll tell you, I think we can do it. And then in between each, even imagine, right? What you do is, you know, like in concerts when someone's playing guitar and he wants the audience to sing, and what he does is he just lowers the sound of everything. Well, they could do that. We could do that in songs, so I can tell you what I'm doing next while cooking. It'd be so funny. A Taste of Honey, Beatles, tune. That's a good one. Or maybe like Shake It Off. So you could like shake off, I don't know, something to do with mixing. So mix a lot. Or The Loving Spoonful, or A Spoonful of Sugar. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Two Sweets of a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There's loads of show tunes. Willy Wonka, If I'm Making Desserts. Wowzers. Or maybe we just go off Smashing Pumpkins. Oh man, that'd be cool. I think it's got legs. The Pineapple Song. Is there something called the Pineapple Song? Is there a Pineapple Song? Milkshake. Oh man. Oh Honestly, guys, this is beautiful. What I'll do is I'll take all these comments and we'll draw up a set list. I'll speak to my mate and see if we can do it. As soon as we're allowed to go in back gardens, you know, when it gets lifted slightly and we're allowed to meet people out in the back, that'll happen in a few weeks. You know, when we can start meeting people. If I can get him to set up, and I'll go to his house maybe if it's easier, and I prepare and we cook and do like 3 or 4 songs. Shadow? What? Shadow? The Shadows? No? I don't know what you're talking about. Right. Right, I'm going to have a little play here. So that one's good. That's on the money. This one might be a little bit big. Let's have a look. No, it fits. Oh, we're going to go with it. Come on. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. No more money. Hank Marvin. Starving. Hank Marvin. Starving. That's beautiful. Hank Marvin. Starving. Beautiful. That's a Cockney rhyming slang. Oh, I've got to be honest, folks. You come up trumps here. Yes, we could do Akadu. I don't know about that. I don't know. Cream. Anything by Cream. Nice one, Amanda. Nice one. We are seriously. I didn't think it was going to take this long. But once we start making it, it won't take long at all. So I'm going to get my piping bag ready and we're going to finish this up. But I've got to say, folks, the music and food thing, like my mum went to see someone, I think it was the late Gary Rhodes, and she said it was awful because they used to do concerts with him on it, he toured, didn't he, Mum? And he was awful, wasn't he? Cornflake Girl, she calls her the chocolate girl, Deacon Blue. Tori Amos, yeah, Deacon Blue. What else? I'm gonna, this is beautiful. What else? Anyway, sweet like chocolate. Oh, American Pie we've had. What, Cornflake Girl or Chocolate Girl by Deacon Blue? Fiona Apple, yes, she's a good artist. I like Fiona Apple. She calls her the chocolate girl. When he hits, she melts when he touches her. Ooh, ooh. I love a bit of Deacon Blue. Right, nearly there. This is beautiful, folks. Good imagination. What else would we be doing on a Saturday morning other than going shopping? Just like strawberries. Oh, watermelon sugar. Come on. We go modern. There you go. Watermelon sugar by Harry Styles. I like a bit of Harry Styles. Yeah, that's alright. We might do it by association regardless because we could run out of tunes. Start with the Swedish Chef song from the Muppets. Get the chicky. You know when you're having fun, when you forget that you're actually filming something. That's what it should be, though, isn't it? We all like popcorn. That one, isn't it? That's what we come on to. Flashing lights. Coming on to that. Oh, that's beautiful, man. Oh, now we're talking. One of the best bands I've ever seen live, though. I saw them at Wembley Arena, and I was in the mosh pit, and I was about 3 rows from the front, and it's the only band I've ever seen where they started in pitch black and just lit candles, and then the band started building up. Oh God, it was such a, probably one of the best entrances I've ever seen at a concert. Other than that, David Bowie. There you go. But I could list the people I've seen. So, Cream, Prince. Oh, Blind Melon. Have R.E.M. done any songs about Orange Crush? That was R.E.M. Martika's Kitchen by Martika. Now that's a blast from the past. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? Well, there you go. Who would have said that, eh? Who would have said by the end of today we'd have had a set list ready for when I'm... But the thing is, we are thinking of songs that are food related, but are they any good? That's the question. How you doing, Amanda? You alright? Oh yeah, I love Martika. I listened to Love Thy Will Be Done the other day. What a tune that is. Toy Soldiers, what a classic. Good sing, underrated. My girl, lollipop, bum bum bum. How do you like the answer? Mum, you speak for yourself. Hold on a minute. I've made 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go 12. Let's go 12 layers. Alright, let's go 12. I reckon 12 layers is going to be enough anyway. 12. 24. Should we go for 24 layers? Let's do it. Come on. We haven't got all day. Andy, come on. What you got to get up for tomorrow? Oh no, you're not in lockdown, are you Aussies? I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll start building. I'm going to multitask, folks. I'm going to be tossing pancakes in one pan and building a tiramisu in the other. Let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. See, you have to blame the grumpy Aussies for pushing us from when we was having fun, when we were talking about music. Do you remember that? That was about 2 minutes ago. And now, see, I still listen to my brother. He could be miles away. I still listen to him. I'm doing as I'm told. Right. So that's our Baileys and our coffee. I'm going to move that over there like that. I'm going to move that there like that because that's a bit dangerous. And there's our pancake mould ready. Right, let's go. Right. Look, Andy, just grab a drink. Put the lime in the coconut from, is that from Pulp Fiction? Lime in the coconut. Tune. Right, I'm going to put, I didn't put vanilla in anything. I don't think we need it anyway. Right, let's go. Let's finish up. Because it'll be 10:30 before we know. It'll be the longest one I've ever done, this. Right, let's go. So we're going to finish up. And this is not even the end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build it and then do a finishing video later. But notice it's still a bit sloppy. That's okay. What I'm going to do, because it's going to set eventually, you've got to leave it in the fridge to set for a little bit. Oh, it's going to be good. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right, the secret to this though is not to throw it, to put too much in each layer. Because what you'll end up having, this could be the biggest car crash I've ever done. Pour some... Oh, what's black and sits in the frying pan? It's not a pancake. Boom! Right, here we go. Let's put this to one side. Let's... So we've got a piping bag with our mixing. We're going to keep on frying pancakes while I'm building. Right. How long? Ah! Who said bonkers can't be bonkers without a little bit of craziness? Right, that's that. Right, let's go. Boom. Boom. Shake the room. Let's do this. Okay, so let's bring the camera over. Right, change the scenery. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Alright? Let's move this all over, folks. Oh, go away. Come on. I haven't got enough table. Here we go, that'll do. You can see the garden. Don't judge the mess of the garden. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Iced tea. Oh yeah. Alright, here we go, folks. So let's show you what you got. Now show you up. Right. So that's everything. You can see everything in play, including my belly. Right, let's do that. Right, here we go. Right. So you know the pancakes are cooking. That's not a drama. We know that's working. Right. Let's build this thing before everybody goes to bed. Over there. Right. In here, we are going to. Right. The top of this cake is going to be here. So when we turn it up over, the flat end is going to be here. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a pancake in there like that. Got that? Beautiful. Let's cut the top off. Now, because this mix is still quite wet, because it's just been made, the hole is going to be quite small. And literally what we're going to do is we're going to go round like that. You've got to remember, if you put too much in it, it's going to go up the sides. We're going to make small layers like that. Okay? Then what we're going to do is dip the pancake in the coffee so it absorbs some of that. Let it drain like that. This creates the coffee flavour. Alright? And then we stick it in. Let's sit it straight down like that. Okay? And move it in like that. That's beautiful. Still making pancakes in the background. Nuts this is. Okay. Okay, that's cooking. Next one, let's get more mix in. And this one's again in the middle, all the way around like that. Okay? Remember, it's going to set. That's it, that'll do. Then what we do is probably douse it a bit less. So I thought it might be a bit too much. But what this stops this doing is being rubbery. Alright, let it drain. Okay? In it goes. And you've got a bit of play here. You can still push it around. Make sure it looks beautiful. So that bit didn't sit properly, like that. And then you kind of push it out so it goes to the end. Look, back of your hand. That's perfect. Alright? That's it. Then, let's do it again. Remember, it's got to go in the fridge and set. You're not going to be able to eat it straight like that. It's going to be horrible. What you're doing is create layer after layer. A little bit of the coffee. Like that. Drain it. In it goes. Alright? Keep on pushing it up. Back of your hand creates a nice even feel to it. Building already. This might be enough. I've seen 32 layer versions of this. Oh. More of the mix. Okay. More of the mix. Then put this one on top. And then use the back of your hand to kind of push it all out. Alright? That's beautiful. Then I'm going to put it in the fridge and let it set. more, like that. So, if you want, you can see what the process is. I'm going to finish this up. The chicken song. Did anybody say just eat? Keep it nice and even. And then what I'm going to do, once this is set, might be a bit later on. I'm working later, so that might not happen. We'll do our best. You'll see the end result, and I'll put it on this post. So look, you can see what I'm doing. I'd love you guys to give this a go. If you did, that'd be amazing. Alright. Bit of coffee. Lift it up. Let it drain. Glad you got involved, Amanda. Thanks for joining in the party. The craziness, which is Bonkers Cookery School. Oh. See, still building. A little bit less. Keep it going round. Nice. And that. Yeah, again, give it a little soak. Alright. Is there not? Can you not make it with tofu? Blend tofu, that would do it. What you do is get a soft tofu Becca, and do it that way. That's what I would do. Soft tofu, plenty of sugar, plenty of... you can still do the eggs, I reckon. Have you tried soft tofu? Have you ever tried soft tofu scrambled egg? I was speaking to a plant-based... a lady that had a plant-based diet, and she'd never used tofu for scrambled egg before. I would try that. I reckon it would work. Notice I've just spread that one. Use the back of your hand, that will spread out. Did anybody say just eat? This is going to be a monster. What's that on the top of the hill? Is it a monster? Right, I've run out of piping bags, so I'm going like that. So, I'm going to carry on building this. Alright? So I've got a little bit left to do. Right, so I'm going to finish this off. You guys have persevered, and you've done very well. Thank you very much for joining in and having a bit of a laugh. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to set it in the fridge. I'm going to show you the finished results at the end of the day. All right. I'll do a video and post it, and you can see exactly what I'm doing. All right. But this goes on until you finish all your pancakes, and then you don't have to do 16. You can do. I'm going to probably go up to try and get it up to the level if I can. If I can't, then never mind. And then everybody enjoy your evening and get to bed if you're over there. And I'll tell you what. Thanks for joining in. It's been a long one, an hour and 20 minutes, and that is remarkable that I've had 7 viewers, 7 or 8 people live since all that time. And it's been great fun. It's been a good one today. So thank you very much for joining in. In about a few hours' time, hopefully about 2 or 3 o'clock, I'll be able to send you a picture of what it looks like, all right? Thank you very much for joining in. I've got to finish this, all right? What's that? Oh, where? I don't see that. Where's the coffee alternatives? Hold on. Where? Okay, if you don't do coffee, just take it out. It's not important. If you don't do coffee, don't worry about it. Chocolate. You could do a chocolate. Sorry about that. So if you don't like coffee, it's not essential. Take it out. Take it out. And maybe just do a really dark, maybe like maybe chocolate, but that's not. It's not important. What it is that with tiramisu works because it has the coffee. It's a coffee dessert, really. But if you don't do coffee, take it out. And you don't necessarily have to soak it. You could probably use like a stock syrup, maybe like sugar, vanilla, and water. Reduce it down to make a little stock syrup and put that in. That'll work. Go for it. I mean, the recipe that I originally had didn't have any coffee in it, so it doesn't. It's not essential. But what you do need is you do need something. Take care, Henry. Just need something to break the richness. That's all. Something a little bit bitter. But if you don't do bitter, just maybe dark chocolate would work. Actually, I'll tell you what. What you might want to do is layers with Nutella in between. That might work. But you need something that's going to just, or just admit that don't put the coffee in at all. It's not a drama. All right. Well, look, I answered that question. So, everybody, have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. And thank you very much for watching and taking part. It's been beautiful. Look after yourself, folks. And I will show you the end result at the end of the day. Take care. Bye.